Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's Sunday morning here in London, men's Wimbledon finals day, so quite looking forward to seeing a bit of the tennis later on, although I'm actually going out to meet up with a friend, so I don't know how much I'll see of that. But before that, I thought it would be fun to take a closer look at the Chanel summer nail polish release. You know how I love my nail polishes and my Chanel nail polishes in particular. They are an obsession for me, and I just love looking at the colours and finishes and textures of Chanel polishes. They have released 6 in the summer collection, so we're very spoilt, and they are the Radiant shade, Radiant selection rather, sorry. And I think that means that they have done metallic versions of existing Chanel shades, either within the current bigger collection that's still available or historic shades that they've done. And they've just made them metallic. So those of us who are Chanel obsessives, it's quite fun to see whether the metallic version is, you know, very obviously of the original shade. In some cases, it seems to be closer, in fact, to other shades to me, but I thought I'd test a few out and we can see how they work. So because there are 6 Radiant colours, I've got them all. I've worn all except 2, so I've tried out 4 of them in the past few weeks. But there are too many to speak of in one 10-minute video, so I've divided this up. I'm going to do the 3 red-orange shades first of all. So here's one that I haven't actually tried on the nails yet. I'm really looking forward to it. I intend to wear it on my summer holiday because that looks like liquid sun in the bottle, doesn't it? This is a Radiant Arancio. So this, I think, is clearly meant to be a Radiant version of Arancio Vibrante from last year's summer collection. So looking in the bottle, you can see there Arancio Vibrante. Forgive me, any Italian speakers, for my pronunciation. There's a very mid-burnt orange. That's the bottom bottle there. And on the top you can see it's made more sunshiny by the gold metallic bit. Okay, so I haven't actually worn this one yet. And I can't even get the top off. There we go. I've got a nail wheel here. So it's a bit awkward with the iPad. Let's see how I can, if I can paint on camera, just to give you a quick look how one coat of that one. I love these oranges for summer on toes and fingers. So you're seeing there, you know, the good old metallic sheen, and that's been my experience on the nails of the ones that I've worn. They're a nice formula. They wear for between 4 to 7 days without chipping. Now here's the original Arancio Vibrante coming up now next to it. To me, this looks a lot deeper. Almost a different tone without that metallic bit. I'm not going to do the whole nail there. And obviously, 2 coats would give a better idea. But you can see there, the cream version looks quite different from the Radiant tone. So, you know, if you were looking for something that's absolutely close but just with a metallic look, I think the fact that they've called it Radiant Arancio, I don't know, is that going to slightly mislead? I picked out a few others in tone that I thought were quite similar. So here is Mirabella from a few years back. This is actually a cream, although it has that kind of slight glow. one of my all-time favourites is Holiday. And I think this is definitely more pinky, but this is Lilas. I'm going to put that one to one side. Let's have a look how Mirabella shows up next to Radiant Arancio, because I wondered if they might be quite similar. Definitely a bit pinkier, but closer in sort of colour than the original Rancho, don't we think? That's Mirabella if you have it. That's from a few years ago. And even further back, Holiday, I think, was about 2012 or 13. I have backups of this. This is so much my favourite Holiday shade. There we go. It's such a true orange to me. Perfect mid-tone orange. Again, it's a bit more goldeny than the original Arancio Vibrante there. So actually I'm thinking that Mirabella is actually the most similar in shade. Let's just put another coat of the Vibrante Arancio on top. Here it is, because it does look less opaque in the jar. There we go, second coat. That does pull it up a bit, give you a good idea how it would look on the nails. There you see, I think, yeah, very similar to Lilas, but just with that, sorry, Mirabella rather than Lilas, just with that golden tone. Really pretty, isn't it? So there's the original Arancio Vibrante, Arancio Radiant, Mirabella and Holiday. Lovely oranges, all of them. Can't have too many oranges in your collection, can you? My favourite nail polish of all time is Rouge Noir. I've told you that so many times. And there's a Radiant Rouge Noir. There it is. Beautiful, beautiful gold metallic with it. I've worn this. It's an excellent formula. I had it applied in the salon and it lasted really a week without much, if any, chipping. Let's put it on the nail wheel. That beautiful. I do think of it as a slightly more wintry shade. That's going to need 2 coats to show it you properly. But there you're getting a bit of an idea. And of course we can look at that alongside the original, the best, Rouge Noir. Let's show them in the bottle. You see, Rouge Noir looks much, much darker in the bottle. And I'm pretty sure this is going to look much darker on the nail because I've worn it so many times. I know it's much more blackened on the nail. Well, it's not looking that different, actually. 2 coats probably will look... No, they look very, very similar, don't they? That's interesting because it looks so much darker in the bottle. So there's Rouge Noir, there's Rouge Noir Radiant. A number of people had said that the Rouge Noir Radiant, it's like a tongue twister, is very similar to Malice, which is already a metallic version of Rouge Noir that we had at Christmas a few years ago, a good few years ago. There they are together in the bottle, and they do look very, very similar, do they not? So we'd really had a metallic Rouge Noir. Malice, also one of my all-time favourites. I wear this pretty much every Christmas because I'm a real creature of habit, and I love wearing this on Christmas Eve. Let's put it next to Rouge Noir Radiant. This is Malice, great favourite. Can we see the difference? Not much, really. These ones really, I think, benefiting. You don't necessarily need 2 coats on the nail. Of course, I've got a completely transparent nail wheel here. So let's try another coat just to see what this one looks like. This is the Radiant. So there you go, 2 coats is lightening it up. You can really see the metallic. It's so pretty on the nails, I promise you. And then you've got Rouge Noir and Malice. Let's just give another coat of the Rouge Noir for fairness. In the comparisons. You know, I think if you do like these dark vampy colours, you're going to want to get Radiant Rouge Noir, even if it isn't exactly a match for the original. There, with 2 colours, I think you can see the real difference in tone between the original Rouge Noir and the Rouge Noir Flamboyant, and that's Malice at the end. Difficult to make a direct comparison with the third polish that I'm going to show you, which is Radiant Red, because I'm not sure what they're comparing it with. There are so many reds, but not usually just called red, to compare it with. So I just picked out a few, one that was suggested to me really by an Instagram viewer. So this looks beautiful. I haven't worn this on the nails. This is Radiant Red, so quite blue-toned metallic red. Someone mentioned that they thought it was basically Flamboyance, which was out at Christmas last year. Very popular. I liked it a lot and I've worn it a lot. Let's just show the 2 bottles together, because in the bottle I thought she was right. They were very, very similar. So there's Radiant Red. It's kind of more smooth metallic, if that makes any sense, than Flamboyance, which has got a kind of slightly more grainy gold finish in it. Slightly more glittery. Again, this is a beautiful Christmas colour. A lot of people love wearing a bright but glittery, well, not glittery, shimmery red. Nothing worse than plain glitter in nail polish when you try to get it off. So there's Flamboyance, and you can see they are pretty similar. Flamboyance looks a bit kind of more mid yellowy red with the metallic in than the Flamboyant Red, which is pulling a bit kind of pinkier. But let's give it a second coat, because these are definitely benefiting on the transparent nail wheel. I think it's less obvious on the nails from my experience wearing them, but definitely on the nail wheel you get a better idea with 2 coats. And there you can see very, very close. If you've got Flamboyance, although they look a bit different in the bottle, not so different on the nail wheel, but it's a beautiful polish. I haven't worn it yet, so I can't make any promises as to the actual last. I picked out these 2 as creams. Well, this one's got a shimmer. This is Echo Sanguine. I think this was a spring or summer release a couple of years ago, just after the new direct. I'm not sure about that. I was going to say after Lucia Pica had just arrived, but I'm not sure if she had actually. We had those red eyeshadows for the first time. So there's Echo Sanguine. That's slightly creamier, although it does have a micro shimmer in the bottle. Goes on the nail with far less shimmer, and I think you can see that. The actual tone of the red, very, very close indeed to Radiant Red. And I picked out Rouge Flamboyant as well as a pure cream. Different from Flamboyance. Rouge Flamboyant is a few years ago. Again, a favourite red. Chanel does reds so well. So many tones, so beautiful. you know, honestly, you look at those, you don't see that much difference. But I do think the, am I pointing to the right one? No, that's the actual, confused myself now, whether the flamboyant red is that one or that one. It's that one, isn't it, with 2 coats, but very, very close. So if you've got flamboyance from last Christmas, you may not want Rouge Flamboyant, Radiant rather. I'm getting myself confused. Is there any wonder? With all these beautiful colours to look at. Watch out for part 2. Bye for now.